Okay, guys, we're going to call the July meeting of the Planning Commission to order, and we are going to call the roll. Ethan Reed,
Present.
Mark Ferguson,
Present.
Alexander Bainey,
Present.
Jensen Tilkey, Jay Winborn,
Here.
Brooks Davis,
Here.
Denise, Cassidy Cook,
Here.
Kevin Gambrell.
Here.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And as we read every meeting, the Conway Planning Commission makes recommendations to the City Council on public hearing items. Items reviewed on this agenda will be considered by the City Council as early as, sorry, wrong one, August 26, 2025. And we have a note in here that there's one item that will be actually considered by the City Council as early as tomorrow night at the City Council meeting, and we will let you know on that one. Items not approved by the Planning Commission Board of Zoning Adjustment may be appealed to the City Council within 30 days of the date of denial. And with that, Lauren, I think you're up all night. And she has a really good helper with her tonight.
I'm going to apologize in advance, everybody. Thanks for being polite. All right, so the first item tonight is a preliminary plat approval for Gold Creek Falls subdivision, Phase 1. This is roughly about 1,300 feet south of current city limits. It is a part of city limits on Sturgis Road. It comprises of 19.37 acres. It's not located in any overlay zones. The current zoning is R1 single family, which does also align with the comprehensive plan. The master street and trail plan indicates Sturgis as a minor arterial, which means 80 feet of right-of-way. There are no existing structures on the site. The applicant is requesting preliminary approval of a 75-lot subdivision on Sturgis Road with internal streets. It's Phase 1 of Gold Creek Falls. Phase 2 will be to the west at a later date time. Lots do meet standards for R1 lots, so 6,000 square feet plus, which is consistent for the area. There are 2 access points proposed off of Sturgis Road, and all streets will require 5-foot sidewalks with a 6.5-foot green space. There are 2 requested waivers with this request tonight. One is for the creation of double frontage lots, which will be all of those lots along Sturgis Road. And then also for a waiver request for access points. When it comes to the subdivision regulations, there are fire requirements that access points have to be so far apart and that it can't be met with this subdivision. Fire has approved and reviewed the requested distance, and they are okay with that. But that is one of the requested waivers. As stated before, a lot of the comments were in the earlier commentary. Corrections on the plat, there's 7, and there's also 9 conditions proposed. Does anyone have any questions about any of this?
Okay, no questions.
No.
Thank you, Lauren. Is the applicant here to speak in favor? Thank you.
Sorry, that's maintenance up there.
That's okay, yeah. If you'll just state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Patrick Hageman, 240 Skyline Drive. I'm with the Tyler Group. We're representing Mr. Hawks here, developing this subdivision. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Okay. Commissioners, anyone have questions? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We will move on to the next item, Lauren.
Next item is our last preliminary plat approval. It's for Fox Ridge subdivision Phase 1, which is around the southeast corner of Donald Ridge Road and Old Military Road. It is also a phased subdivision. As we saw a few months ago, it was rezoned. That northern half of those 2 boundary lines you'll see that kind of run parallel through the site, those are currently zoned R2, and then the rest of the proposal to the south is zoned R1. It's comprised of 29.5 acres. It's not in any overlay zones, and it's also, like I said, R1 and R2 zoned, which does align with the comprehensive plan for the area. We have Old Military Road, which is a 100-foot right-of-way. We have Nutter's Chapel Road, which is a collector, and then Favre Lane, if you look all the way to the furthest point of the south of the subdivision, is proposed 40-foot across, where we also have those hammerhead turnarounds for fire approval. There are no existing structures on the site. What's being proposed is a 94-lot subdivision with an R1, R2 zone. Internal street system will be installed. There's also going to be 5-foot sidewalks, 6.5-foot green space. There are 2 waivers requested with this subdivision, just the same with the last one. The creation of double frontage lots, which will happen along Old Military Road for those lots that abut that in the internal street, and then for distance requirements as well when it comes to the access points for the subdivision. There's 6 corrections that need to be shown on the plat. Also, the sidewalk along Old Military Road will need to be shown on the next plat iteration, and we've discussed that with the applicant, as well as 9 conditions proposed.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Is the applicant here to speak in favor of this? Bobby, if you'll state your name and address.
Bobby French, 1021 Front Street, representing Reszone Properties. I mean, we're just doing a little subdivision. I don't know if y'all have any questions. We'd be glad to answer them.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Bobby?
Good with all the conditions?
Yes. No
Okay.
problem.
That's it?
I had one thing, and I brought this up with some staff, just kind of a question about Old Military Road. I do believe because it's double frontage, they have to have sidewalks along that too. It's not necessarily shown in the plat. Staff's aware of that, but I'm not sure if the conditions actually need to be amended to reflect that nuance, given that it's a major arterial.
Lauren, and does somebody want to?
Bobby knows this.
Yeah.
We chatted today about showing the sidewalks on the plat, just the
Yeah, no problem.
being there, and they're aware, and that was a note. I pulled the comments from the Bluebeam session. Like we talked about, corrections needed on the plat, show on the plat, and sidewalks. So we'll definitely make sure those are on there before we do the final plat and authorization to proceed.
Okay, any other questions for Bobby? Okay, thank you. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve with the corrections and conditions listed in the packet.
Second.
In a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Lauren, we're moving on. We are now entering a public hearing. So we will look at the request to rezone the property at 1020 and 1102 Gum Street from a C3 to an R2. We are doing a downgrade in zoning.
Right, we don't see a ton of downzones.
No.
So this property, it's actually 2 lots at 1020 and 1102 Gum Street. It's a combined 0.34 acres. It's currently zoned C3, which is our highest commercial zoning. We have Burger King to the south, Faulkner Plaza to the east, if we're thinking about where we are. There's a lot of adjacent zonings in the area. We have the old Conway Overland Design District, Neoka Edition on our northwest, and then we have Oak Street to the south, and a lot of commercial. Everything to the north of here to the emergency shelter is zoned R2, which is duplex zoning as well, which is what the applicant is requesting. There's no existing structures on either site. It's not in any overlay districts. It's zoned currently C3. The comprehensive plan is C3, but like we stated, they are requesting a down zone. With 2 duplexes proposed, 1 on each lot, traffic will be pretty minimally impacted, just only 14 trips per day. The site is not in any floodplain. All utilities will be provided by Conway Corporation, and no street improvements are proposed at this time. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, is the applicant here to speak in favor of this request? And if you'll just step forward and state your name and address, please.
Alex Smith with SCA Ventures, and it's for the 1020 Gum Street.
Okay.
Any questions?
Did you have anything to add to, were you okay with the conditions? Okay. Does anybody have questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you. And is there anyone here in opposition of this request? Okay, thank you. Let's bring it back into commission.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you. Passes. Okay, Lauren.
All right, the next 3 are all going to be conditional use permits. This one is for a school facility in an I3 zone located at 225 Tilk Road, which is in the old industrial airport park area. It's 2.62 acres currently across 2 tracts of land. It's in an I3 zone. Everything around it is I3 as well. Like I said earlier, they're requesting school facilities. It's an existing 20,993 square foot structure that was once a time vacation, tour, and travel. It's not an overlay, and the comprehensive plan designates this area for light industry. With school, it's kind of hard to calculate numbers. You're mostly going off of pupils. As of now, they've proposed about 127 kids enrolled. Their highest proposed in the future would be up to 250. So that would generate around 620 trips per day to the site for those numbers provided. There's no current traffic counts anywhere in the vicinity, so we're not even going to discuss that. We're not located in any FEMA zones. All utilities are currently at the site. The Master Street and Trail Plan indicates Tilk as a local non-residential, and it's improved at this point. There are no improvements planned at the time. What's being shown is the proposed site plan for the site, for just the modification to add the playground at the back. So like we said, the building was constructed in 2011 for more of an office use in the industrial park. The intent of the conditional use permit is for a private school, Compass Academy, for educational program for K-12, as well as recent grads of the school. They have the consistent school year hours schedule, with 7 to 5 being their requested time, with some breaks throughout the summer and winter breaks. They are proposing to do 16 interior classrooms, because right now it's just a large room, and they're going to facilitate that in building permitting. The comprehensive plan does indicate this area is for light industry. The I-3 zone is designed primarily for manufacturing and other industrial activities, but an I-3 does allow a school facility with a conditional use permit. Adjacent uses, we have Greenway tractors to the south, natural resource conservation facilities to the north, which both have CUPs for, one's being utilized, one is not. But staff has reviewed it, and we proposed 9 conditions. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer any.
Did y'all have any questions for Lauren about the conditions at this time?
On the hours, just it's an
Mhm.
school, I don't have an issue with it,
Sure.
but would there be a need where, like, if they had, if you have programs or things, would there something happening? I don't want to put these hours in there and then, they
Sure.
have an event at 6 p.m.
Yeah, the hours are what they gave me.
Okay.
So I would assume they're okay with it, but if
Okay.
we want to discuss opening, I'm more than happy. Those are just what were provided to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question. Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Is the applicant here to speak in favor of this request? Thank you. Richard, if you'll say your name and address.
You already know my name.
I know, but you got to tell him.
I'm Richard Henley, 3040 Orchard Crest Drive. And then Stephen Hayes.
Yep. Stephen Hay, 344 Conway Boulevard.
I do think that's a really good question that you asked. Like any school, we will occasionally have an evening event.
Mhm.
So I didn't actually understand those hours to be a firm, that's our Monday through Friday typical schedule. But yeah, I would like permission to occasionally have something. We'll have a business after hours event, for
Mhm.
example. That'll be something after those hours.
Okay. Is that, Lauren, do you want to? Okay. Okay. Okay.
If you do an improvement.
Okay. Is there an hour you would like to?
Oh, we don't stay out very late, 9 o'clock at the latest, 8 o'clock even. 9 o'clock would be great.
Okay, perfect.
And I would expect that to happen about maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
While we're on the hours, would there ever be a preschool program you're offered, like a drop off that you need like 6 a.m. or something of that nature?
No, I think the 7 a.m. actually
Okay.
covers that.
Okay.
That is for early drop off.
Okay, I
Perfect.
just want to make sure while we're doing it. we
Just
do it
take
before
care
I
of
leave,
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, anything else? And you guys were fine with the conditions that
Yes.
the staff presented? Okay. Okay.
Can you
any-
just expand on the traffic flow we talked about this morning?
Yeah, can you go back to that diagram of the property? Because it showed it.
I
Right
just think
there.
it's helpful for
The
people
little,
to
the little
to
red
know.
arrows. Tilt is all the way to the right. It's not a heavily traveled street, but we have a double driveway where you see the arrows going both directions. We have a double driveway going to the back parking lot. So our intention is to have people turn in off of Tilt, circle all the way around the back parking lot, back up then toward Tilt, and there's 2 drop-off doors there on the side of the building. So it should be very, very convenient. Our traffic should be queued up in the parking lot and along the driveway instead of out on Tilt.
feel like this is enough capacity in the future for expansion as well as the internal circulation?
Yes, this is abundant. This is a great facility for this school. They mentioned we're building 16 classrooms in. There's room for
Quite a bit more.
6 or 8 more at least. There's areas of this, they had to divide it into 3 large rooms with cubicles. One of the rooms we're not even touching for future growth.
Anybody else have questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. Is there anyone here in opposition to the request? Okay, good deal. Let's bring it back into commission.
First, I make a motion to adjust condition number 1 from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, year-round.
I'll second that.
Okay. Oh, sorry, y'all are waiting on me. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Now we need to vote
And then,
Oh.
yeah, and then
Oh,
then I
okay.
make a motion to approve the conditional use permit with the 9 conditions listed in the packet, including the one we just amended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, guys.
This will go to.
And this is the asterisk on there that will go to city council tomorrow night. They are fast forwarding this one through, so it will be heard tomorrow night. Thank you. Okay, Lauren, up next on the request for the beauty salon in the O3.
Yes, so right now, at this site, Salem's being improved, but it's at 306 Salem Road. It's 2 acres. It's currently zoned O3, which is restricted office, which doesn't really allow for a lot of uses that you would kind of think about when you hear office. Adjacent zonings to the north, east, and west is R2, and south is R1, which the majority of that is floodplain trail easement. Existing structure is a 8,584 square foot office building. What's proposed is a beauty or barber shop in the O3 zone. There's no overlay. The comprehensive plan does indicate this area for single family. Depending on the number of operators, it would probably be anywhere between 12 to 36 clients a day in this one suite alone. So like I said, that would be depending based upon Mr. Pennington's tenant's schedule. But it will be pretty minimal based off of the fact that there's multiple offices already operating out of the building. Current traffic is 13,000 square feet just at the southwest corner of this site. It is located in a FEMA floodway. There are current all utilities available on site. Salem Road is a 100-foot major arterial. The Tucker Creek Trail runs just to the south and west, or south and east along this site, and then the Connect Conway Trail actually runs all the way along Salem Road at this site. There are improvements currently happening at Salem Road. I never get to say there's a street improvement happening at the same time. So that's going on. If you haven't drove Salem lately, it's tore up. It is open and it's great.
Open.
The existing site, as we stated, is a multi-tenant building with an attorney's office, a leasing agency, speech therapist, and insurance office. Beauty shop's not allowed by right in O3, but it is with a conditional use permit. There is an existing conditional use permit tied to the site for a church, but I don't think it's been in use for a really long time. So this will replace that conditional use permit. Due to the size of the suite space and the building already being developed, there should really be very minimal impact to this at all to allow this use. There are 7 conditions proposed. The only thing that I pulled over from the existing CUP was the office hours, because the majority of the uses are office, which are 8 to 6. If John wants to discuss maybe changing those, we can, but he has seen all these conditions, and that's all that staff has proposed.
Just for my own education, what is a beauty shop? What zoning is a beauty shop supposed to be in?
You can do it in, I know all the commercial zones, the C1 downtown. I think probably in O1 it's allowed by right,
Okay.
and you can get like a home occupation in R1. We've seen a few of those.
Yeah.
But just O3, it allows things you wouldn't expect, but then it doesn't allow other things. It's because it tends to be older homes that have been converted into businesses.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else, questions for Lauren? Okay. Is the applicant here to speak in favor of the request? Mr. Pennington, if you will state your name and address, please.
John Pennington, 306 Salem Road is our leasing office, which is the property that's up for the CUP. And the current request is our suite that we've kind of identified for this spot is about 400 square feet. It may a little bit less than that, actually. So it's not going to take up a significant amount of square footage. But I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. We're perfectly acceptable with all the conditions as submitted.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Pennington?
Are you fully tenanted at that
Yes.
spot? Okay.
Yes.
Would this be one of the more quasi-retail type of professional uses other than office and some other uses out there?
Well, there won't be retail sales out of this space at all. So we have one of our current tenants has about 2,000 square feet, and they have a kind of individual office suite up front, and that's kind of the area we've identified as the potential location for this, pending the results of this. So, yeah.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak in opposition to this request? Okay, thank you. We'll bring it back into commission.
Make a motion to approve with the conditions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And we are going to move forward. I believe, I'm just going to make a note, if anyone printed this out like we did, there is a change. This is 4595 Prince Street. I think ours has the numbers, at least when I printed it, it was 4959, but it should be 4595 Prince Street.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, so our last public hearing item tonight is another conditional use permit for religious activities or a church in the O2 zone. This is just south of the intersection of Prince Street and College, just kind of south where CPAC has just gone in recently in the last few years. It's just over 2 acres, currently zoned O2. To the north is O2, south is A1, as well as west. And then to the east, we have it's a mixed-use PUD, but behind this site specifically is residential homes that access via an alley that runs between those properties. There's no existing structures on the lot, and it's not located in any overlays. The comprehensive plan does indicate this area for office use. The applicant is requesting conditional use approval for a church with around 65 to 80 staff, or not staff, sorry, members of their church.
They're like, no.
Y'all are busy. With 9 a.m. to noon on their Sunday services with 25 to 40 members Wednesday evenings and staff throughout the week for all of their services that they offer. Obviously, traffic will be heaviest on Sundays and Wednesday nights. A small portion of the northeast corner of the site is in a floodplain zone. There's no other areas that on the site that are there. Site will be serviced by Conway Corp, and there are no street improvements planned at Prince Street at this time. We have met with the applicant. We had a small pre-app. We kind of discussed the levels of development and what will be required at the site, and we have proposed 9 conditions at this time.
Okay, anyone have questions for Lauren? Okay, thank you. Is the applicant here to speak in favor of this request? If you'll state your name and address, please.
Good evening. I'm Lyle Rupert. My address is 5135 Greystone, and I'm the chair of the building committee for Grace Presbyterian, which is at 1010 Hogan.
Were you good with the conditions, the staff?
We had one request, condition number 9, that said that the conditional use permit would cease if for a consecutive period greater than 18 months. We would want to know, could that be extended to 24 months to give us more time for a funding plan? Or is that
Yeah.
so appropriate? Yeah.
When we met with them, they had relayed that there may be a few years delay in the actual construction. We wanted them to know there is a conditional use permit expired by the code, and we can't, as staff, grant it higher, but you guys can, since we knew that they weren't going to start building immediately. And that's very good to know sometimes with conditional use permits. So thank you.
Okay. So are you saying 24 months is enough time, 2 years?
We think, yeah, that makes, we're still in the initial stages of planning, fundraising, and the building and architect and all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
the extra 6 months would give us more time to get that ready then. Other than that, the other conditions look great, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in opposition to this request? Okay, thank you. And we will bring it back into commission if someone would like to.
I'll make a motion
Motion.
to adjust condition number 9 to extend that from 18 months to 24 months.
Number 8, we need to extend. Yeah, we should do 8 and 9, I think.
8
Mhm.
and 9.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Do you want to get your eye in?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. And then now, may I?
Thank heavens.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh, you look like you were.
I've got a
fixing to
question.
start
So
spouting.
what's the process for extending a CUP if they need to go past the 24?
If they need to go past the 24, we can extend, they can request a 90-day extension. We can only do one 90-day extension.
Did you
Then
guys
it would
all
come
hear
back.
that? One 90-day extension is all we can do, or you'd have to start over again. Okay? Got it?
I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Okay?
Second.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, guys. We are now finished. Ann, did you have any updates for us this evening?
Other than we have wrapped up the advisory committee meetings over the zoning code, well, this part of the zoning code that we're doing, Article 10. There's a couple of other articles that are being affected and some HDC stuff that we're going to present to you guys. I believe we're going to have a public input meeting where all the commissioners and all the council members can come and hear feedback from that. I believe that's September 4th. If y'all want to get it on your calendars, go ahead and do that.
And then you're going to get us the stuff in August to review.
To review, and then we're going to do, you'll see the presentation twice. We're going to present to Planning Commission in the September meeting, and then you'll vote on it in October. It'll give you plenty of time to go through it and ask your questions and make suggestions.
What time is the September 4th meeting? Do we know yet?
I don't know exactly yet.
Okay.
It's probably going to be 5.
Anything else? Any commissioners have anything to add? Okay. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion.
Motion and second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.